physical body. Because I am more than physical matter, I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world. I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those who follow me. I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal to or greater than my own. I ask their guidance and protection from any influence or any source that might provide me with less than my stated desires.
Do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. Do not claim to know the ultimate truth about fire. I seek that which has been made hidden as a part of a family and explorers of consciousness. I am the void one.
Welcome to Lighting the Void.
Broadcasting live all the way from a shack on a hill in the Mossy Creek bottoms of Cane Creek, Arkansas. This is Lighting the Void live here on Fringe.fm. That's right. Thanks to you guys, the radio station is back up. The website's still being updated, but you can listen to the show live on TalkStream Live, TuneIn, Live 365. All the places that the Fringe FM is located, and we're here on YouTube. We're the main, I guess you could say the main squeeze, the main chat room. That's where it's at. In these times of want and need, it's important that you get your shit together. So this show tonight specifically is brought to you by DEK Consulting. Hit them up. Hit them up in the description. Email, number, no websites, nothing like that. Just my personal friend to me trying to help people get their financial shit together, right? So whether it's taxes, if you want to do your own thing, if you have an LLC, if you're an individual, big business, whatever, you can't figure out where your money's going, hit up DEK Consulting. All right. So I have to apologize first and foremost about last night. I passed smooth out. I actually set 2 alarm clocks to wake up so I could do the show and just passed out. And I woke up and it was like 10:30. I was already feeling bad anyways. This didn't feel good, but I would have done the show sick, probably. But I apologize about that. I guess I needed the rest. But here's another thing too. Like ever since we started talking about this etheric double, I've been feeling that thing more than ever, actually. I've been feeling it like as my body falls into that etheric double. I can't, maybe it's because I'm exhausted, but I think when you're exhausted, you're not going to be able to get out of body very good. Like you'll feel that falling feeling, maybe. And that's about it. Just, and I felt, it's so intense that it feels like an adrenaline rush for me now. So I'll start to get into that twilight state, and then I'll fall just real quick, and it gives the old heartbeat speed, like you do if you're getting a jump scare or something. What's up, everybody in chat? Deacon, Sir Wolf, Sudi, Grant gets out. Cosmic, Jane, Jenny. Did I say Deacon? I did. Ari the cat. Dutchy, Susie. What's happening? I figure we get back into the Monroe Institute stuff tonight. Why not? And start channeling like entities and things. Maybe. Because that's usually what freaks people out. There it goes. Wade. There he goes. Thanks for the sub. I'm catching up on all these. Sally Clark. We got another sub. Thank you. Catching up on this one. Oh, there's Sudi's donation. Thank you for that. There's Howard's. Did it do it? Howard's membership thing. Yeah. And then Mystic Blaze. I had all that stuff up, but it was buried in the back because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out all this tech stuff. Yeah, Mystic, let's see. Mystic Blaze, Charles Woody for the sub here. And JB. Yeah? Is that right? Okay. So this tape that we're going to get into tonight, well, I guess I'll do this because someone asked in the chat, what was my first experience like or something? Isn't that what they asked? What was my first experience like when I first got out of body? I've said this stuff a million times, but I guess I'll say it again. Like, or from then on out, my experiences were good after that. But my first experience was simply just sitting up. If I sat up out of this chair right now, just the way I am, just got up, sat up, and just took off. That's what it felt like. That's it. Besides just laying there and vibrating and getting to the vibratory state, the feelings were nothing different. In fact, I've said this a million times. This is why I think Vuldoon is right about what he talks about, at least. I don't know about the astral cord, but as far as what it feels like and how everything happens, that's how it happened. I didn't even know that I was out of body until I turned around and saw myself sleeping. Had no clue. I was about to head towards the kitchen. And I think it's kind of the same way like that, how, magic works and stuff like that. Once you get to this point where you're just kind of, it's becoming a ritual and it's like a ceremony, maybe a ritual, but you're not really, how they say, live with all of your excitement, like live your highest vibration, do what excites you, be in the moment, but expect nothing, expect no results. So I really didn't have a desire for a result, which in turn kind of synchronized a lot of things, I believe, and helped me relax, Yeah, it's a very subtle place, but a lot of things in this metaphysical world and all of these different levels of practical spirituality that we're trying to get to, practical conscious exploration, a lot of these things are subtle places. It's not like, we meditate and we're flying in the 12th dimension or, anything like that. Just getting in hypnagogia and staying there for a little bit is a subtle feeling. There's an art to it. And if any of you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Other than that, I want to listen to this Explorer tape and this introduction to, is it Miran? Have you guys heard this one? I know some people are afraid of entities and things like that, but I don't think we've heard this one. If we have, stop me. And if any of you guys are talking to people like in the astral realm and you're not telling me about it, I'm going to be pissed. Like if you're channeling people and talking to them, you're not calling in at 501-777-5631 and talking to me about it. The Alpha Hillbillies of Arkansas. Let's see. Let's try Miran. Introduction to Miran. Now, what's going to happen is incredibly annoying. Y'all ready for this? I will stop this damn thing and pause it. While, if I have some type of weird revelation or something like that, I will stop this thing, pause it, and start talking. Just the way we do stuff around here. Gypsy Jenny says it's been a while since I've had an entity visit. Huh. I don't have any entity. You know what I have here in the shack that freaks me out more than anything? Yeah, you lurkers, fess up with your stories, damn it. Make sure y'all hit the like and all that stuff too. It helps the channel grow. As I hear thuds, like have you guys seen that movie A Dark Song, where they're trying to do that ritual and eventually they start hearing like knocks on the floor and things like that? 4 or 5 times a day in here. And I wish I had a better like surround sound, that kind of microphone or whatever. But 4 or 5 times a day, I will hear thuds, just bang, boom, blah, 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 blah. And it's not animals. It's like doors shutting, people banging on the wall, things like that. And I'll go out, I'll open the door. It's midday too. It's not at nighttime all the time. It's just midday. And I'll open the door and there's nothing there. With no wind blowing, nothing. Just banging. And I think honestly, this is going to sound wackadoo, but I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, well, my temple's over there, and every day I'm doing some type of a meditation or ceremony, lighting myself up in the astral realm. So they're probably fishes or something. Who knows? Or it could be squirrels. You know, could be Arkansas squirrels. I don't know.
SHE, and she has provided one of the most interesting and profound explorations that we've encountered.
She.
Thus, we again believe that we should pick up at the breakthrough point so that you can follow the events much as they actually took place. She has had enough experience in Focus 12 to be totally comfortable in that state of consciousness. As we begin, bear in mind that the recording is not intended to be of high quality, but simply for file purposes.
Have we done this before?
However, I am sure it will bring more questions than answers. Here is she reporting from 12.
She. Focus 12.
And point of light. Other than that, I don't perceive anything.
I think
How's light feel?
It's like a star.
Okay, I'll shut up.
When I focus on it, I begin to float.
Experiment with the light. Experiment with it.
Step into the light.
Now they're getting closer. Now I'm getting closer to them. But what?
Ask the question of why the block.
To get to your answer that there's some disharmony and I'm not very relaxed. I feel relaxed.
Oh no.
Answers spin out. I don't understand it.
After about 3 minutes, then the following took place.
So what's going on? Is she being blocked or something? She's saying that she can't. All she sees is light, but she doesn't understand what's going on. Like there's blocks. Oh my God, my eyes itching so bad.
How are you?
I'm very glad to meet you.
Oh, here we go.
I'm
We got an
very
entity
thankful
now.
that you came.
Can you get me some, please?
It is hard to get here.
What is the difficulty?
There are many layers to penetrate.
Oh yeah, we're talking to an entity now.
We are very, very grateful that you did penetrate the layers to us.
you in any way that we can.
Her color pattern is very good.
I gotta get some clear eyes.
We must find a way to help her let go.
Do you have any recommendations?
There needs to be a period in which she goes very deep.
A longer preliminary period then, would you say?
Possibly. It will get easier as the trust builds. There's still a lot of fear.
Very grateful for your concern for her.
Now she is feeling a lot of disharmony.
Hi, Jan.
I've taken her to a place where she can rest.
What would you recommend that we do in regard to her physical condition?
She must work on herself. It is important for her to stop doing things that are harmful to her leg.
Such would be harmful. What could we list as being harmful?
It is important for her to begin the process of
Okay. Well, here's the question for the night. You guys ready for this question? What's the difference? What's the difference between the higher self or your guides and and talking and speaking to your unconscious or your subconscious? Is there a difference? Doesn't mean it's not mystical. It doesn't mean they're not guides somewhere in a different dimension or whatever you want to think or however you want to think about them. But is there a real difference? I wonder.
going away from cigarettes. They cause the difficulties in her leg.
How can we help her achieve this?
Where I have taken her to rest, she will be given some words to meditate upon. She has not done the meditation I ask her to do.
Does she remember the meditation that you did ask her?
I was just checking that myself. I'm not sure.
Perhaps, if you wish, we can transmit it to her at the fully conscious level. She would give us the instructions, if you so desire. We will then transmit it to her consciously.
It must come from within. She will remember it.
Very good.
What's the first thing you would ask this thing? If you were Robert Monroe and you were sitting there and this thing was just like, you were sitting there next to it. And then that girl, you remember how she was kind of freaking out before she started channeling this thing. And then she was like, hello. What would be like the first thing you would ask? I would ask, I'd be like, what's your name, ma'am? I'd be like a police officer. Just try to catch her in a lie the whole time, you know? Yeah, where'd you come from? What address? How long you in town for? Who's with you? Well, what's your shoe size? That's just me, though.
Have this to be used for could we learn about you? Tell us.
I am working right now on a level in which I have to help people begin to focus in another direction. I am part of Liana.
What?
And we have been together. Now it is my job to help her come to that realization.
At what level will you work from now?
I am working now on level 46. There are many forces there that are helping at this point the people on your earth. There are many forces there that are working with you. And you have the guidance.
Can you describe level 46 for us?
Come on, spit it out. Tell us what level 46 is.
Difficult to put into your words.
It is a state of being.
Yes, it is primarily a state of pure energy.
Where were you prior to level 46?
Be like,
I have been many places. Time does not exist for me.
Did you at one time exist in this physical earth level?
At one time I was a part of Liana.
Was that in physical matter existence here?
Yes,
Was that in a civilization or culture that we are unaware of? Physical life here?
I have gone through all of your times. We were together. We were very close in Lemuria. Then we were separated. It is only when I arrived at level 46 and was told that I needed to gather back together the parts of myself that had been separated that I began to reach back and establish contact again. I have been in contact all day. My messages have not come through very clearly, but there has been an awareness of my presence.
What can we do to help you?
You are helping me now.
does anybody
What can I do to help you?
does anybody get a creepy vibe from this? Right? Like she's just gonna start bursting into some kind of weird chant of tongues or something here any minute now.
Help us understand level 46 and the other levels that exist between this physical matter
existence in level 46. How can we learn these things?
You are aware of many of these levels. Level 46 is a place of pure energy. We have no identity. And yet we have all identities.
Uh-oh.
A level then of multiple identities that are not as we can understand as a single conscious self. Is that right?
She might just start saying,
I'm
I'm
sorry,
Legion.
I was distracted. I had to check with Liana. Would you say that again?
Is Liana all right? Is she comfortable? Is Liana comfortable?
There are some distractions.
Do inform me if you feel that she should return.
I will.
We do need your help. You can help us greatly by visiting us just as you do now. Help us understand more accurately such levels of pure energy and those in between.
I will try.
All of us here will be deeply, deeply grateful.
So you'd ask, Jenny, the
At
entity,
what
what is
level,
Earth
example,
for?
when one passes from this physical matter existence, what is the next level that one moves to?
It would depend on what one is ready for. Normally, you would move to level 22.
Can you describe level 22 for me?
It is a time in which the purposes for which you have lived are brought out, in which you decide where you will go from there. It is a time to begin anew.
These are pretty vague answers, though, right?
Level 22 is not necessarily one of pure energy, such as 46.
There is a closer tie between 22 and your plane. It is not a place of pure energy. It is a place of light.
What choice is, or what election may one have from level 22? You indicated that there is a choice. What choices are available to an entity at that stage, at that level 22?
You would have before you a spectrum of choices as varied as that of the rays of the sun.
Is one such choice to return again to physical matter existence, this earth level?
If that is your wish. There are
Think about this too, Jenny. What if it was you? What if it's us experimenting on us? Like a lot of people think it's aliens or something, but it's probably just us experimenting on parts of us.
some beings who have to do that.
What is the factor that would force a being to do this?
If there is a mission that he has had that he has not accomplished, he must return.
Is that his own decision that the mission was not accomplished, or is that decision made for him?
That is all one and the same.
Vague.
There is a knowing.
From your perspective, is it possible for you to perceive the missions of those of us here?
No.
Very good.
The answer to your question is yes. I can help you with that at another time.
Thank you so much. Is there any means by which we can identify you? Can we give you a name, a number, so that we know we use some point of identification?
The energy that can best describe me is Miran.
Miran. Very
Miran.
good.
Let's look that name up.
Minister, call for you. You feel that Leona needs to return now?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Thank you so much, Miran. And we will talk with you again. Have another communication.
Good night.
Good night, and bring Leona back.
Okay, so I looked up Miran. It doesn't mean anything. Is it really so far-fetched to think that we could be the ones experimenting on ourselves? So on a microcosmic level from that, when you dream and you don't know you're dreaming, who is in control of the dream? Let's say, for instance, you're having a dream. It's not lucid, right? You don't know you're dreaming. It feels like reality. It's so real. Just like the dream when your teeth fall out, right? That stuff feels super real. You don't know you're dreaming. You don't know you're not in reality. You don't know what's going on outside of that reality, of that dream. But in fact, it's you and your stuff that's running that dream. It's only till you become lucid that you realize it's you and this is your whole creation. So in a sense, you are experimenting when you dream on yourself, either trying to communicate from your higher self to your lower self, or you're trying to let off some steam or something. Who knows, right? So let's look at this fractally then. If fractals are such a thing in the universe on every single level, then if that's the case, then this reality, as far as consciously is concerned, and if you really get into Carl Jung, you'll get this. It's just another dream level. that you're in control of. You want to hear something really weird? Try to wake up right now. Just like if you're in a dream. Try to wake up. I've actually tried that. It's really weird feeling. Like you can't. It's almost like trying to fly, right? You can't. However, when you do try, it does make you realize that if you've ever tried to wake up from a regular dream, when you realize you're in a dream, you can do it, but your eyes will shake. They'll just, like I've done it, where my eyes will start twitching and shaking, and I'm trying to pull myself out of the sleep, you know. And that dream world is that's not near as dense of a vibration as physical reality. So imagine the deep sleep that you're in now, that you have to be in order to live this life. And because we don't know what's going on outside of it, just like when we're in a dream, it feels like an experiment, or we feel kind of like victims. Or I could just be full of shit, but that's just my intuition saying that, honestly. I don't know any facts here. I'm not going to pretend that I do. Just void walking.
That was our first meeting with Miran. And needless to say, we were past the point of surprise by that time. Also, we were very eagerly awaiting the session next week with SAT to continue. And here's what took place.
A beacon light. It seems to go into a very deep spiral.
How do you feel now?
It feels familiar. I feel attracted to it.
I can't hear Robert Monroe. Damn it.
Seems to move. Right now it's far away. It's been closer. I can find patches of color. I can't seem to find a pattern.
They need to be back. And just think.
Boop. Boop.
It's good to be here.
Oh, now the entity's back. Does it look okay? I'm gonna admit, right? What's the creepiest thing about this whole thing? It's the voice change, right? It's like Carol Ann going into the light. So the girl's like, I see all these color patterns. I'm lost. I don't know where I am. Da 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 da. You know, and all of a sudden the voice comes out. And it's like, it's good to be here. You think Robert Monroe there was ever a time that he was sitting there and someone was channeling and all of a sudden the voice changed dramatically and they were like, hello, Robert. It's good to be here. I would freaking jump out of my chair. But there's the voice change right there. Hi, Bob.
It has been difficult to make contact.
Listen to this. Listen to this voice change. I want to hear it again. Hold
Patches
on.
of color. I can't seem to find a pattern.
Lady, back. I just think.
It is good to be here.
That's a different voice.
It feels familiar.
Right?
That was our first meeting with Miran.
A beacon light.
Just listen to this voice. This
It
is the,
seems to go into a very deep spiral.
this is the normal voice.
How do you feel now?
Boop.
It feels familiar. I feel attracted to it.
So she's getting sucked into something. That's what it's saying to her. Step into the light. All right, here comes a voice change.
Seems to move. Right now it's far away. It's been closer. I can find patches of color. I can't seem to find a pattern.
Yeah, here it comes.
I just think.
It is good to be here.
Doesn't that sound different enough? It's good to be here.
It has been difficult to make contact.
It's deeper.
She is. She is blocking me now. I don't know why.
Am I just tripping, or can you guys hear the difference?
Come back. Again.
Perhaps it is important for her to know one experience from a previous life so that she can begin to understand. When she lived with me in Lemuria, she developed very strong talents. She could think of a person, and they would do whatever it was she wanted them to do, or they would be however she wanted them to be. She used this with a small child. The child was ill, and she willed the child to be well. The child became well, and she shared with the child what she had done.
What the hell is this thing talking about?
Then the child used her thoughts to bring great harm upon Liana.
What's happening here? Is my ADD so bad that I just missed it? What's happening here? So we got a girl that's going to like focus 22, 26, something like, I don't know what focus level it was. And then she starts saying, I see lights, I see colors, it's so far away, I'm lost. Then we have the voice change. I mean, I hate to rewind this, but like, what is she saying here? She's talking about some... This is fucking weird, man. Miran.
Perhaps it is important for her to know one experience from a previous life.
Previous life. Okay, yeah,
so
you're right,
that she
Sadie.
can begin to understand. When she lived with me in Lemuria, she developed very strong talents. She could think of a person, and they would do whatever it was she wanted them to do, or they would be however she wanted them to be.
That sounds like witchcraft, if you ask me.
She used this with a small child. The child was ill, and she willed the child to be well. The child became well, and she shared with the child what she had done. Then the child used her thoughts to bring great harm upon Liana. At that point, a separation occurred between Liana and me, because Liana then willed harm upon that child, and the child died. She must remember that all thoughts that she has with other people must be for their good.
So it was like a Lemurian
And
kid or
that
something?
I mean only good for her.
That is crazy. Can you tell us something? Dream of the Lord. Where?
In your time span, Lemuria existed about 12,000 years ago. It was located on your earth. The people were very advanced, and they were very peaceful. They lived to themselves. In small groups, connected by telecommunication. Because the people were peaceful, they were in danger. From many of the forces on your earth. The civilization died out because it could not evolve along with the evolution was going on at that time on your earth. The spirits of the people of Lemuria traveled on to Venus and established a colony there.
Humanoid form.
No. I had to
Not
get
as
some.
you would define it.
I had to get some clear eyes because my eyes are itching. But I think I heard her say while I was up. So the child that she had, I guess the child could think things and they would happen. I guess. And it was a Lemurian child, and then she thought something bad about, I guess, somebody in a past life, and now there's karma going on, and now she's talking about Lemuria. Let's see. Let's go to the chat here. Oh man, y'all, who's Jane's animals got cancer or something? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I would do if my cat got. But yes, like, that sucks, Jane. I'm sorry. So, according to all these stories that we hear about Lemuria, we should be able to do the same. We should be able to do the same things that they did, but I guess we, I don't know, devolved away from those abilities. Like, we should be able to heal like they could heal and think things into existence and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm still confused at what's going on. This is one of the trippiest explorers projects I've heard so far. One of the trippiest.
They were advanced enough not to need a physical body as you need a physical body.
Sorry to interrupt, but it will be continued on the other side of the cassette. Just flip the cassette over now.
I can't see a damn thing.
Their trainings and disciplines in Lemuria that we might use now to aid some of the.
Again, we can't hear what Robert Monroe's asking. He's asking something about Lemuria to this Miran character.
The trainings and disciplines, I'm not sure. The people, we in Lemuria, developed our thoughts. We developed the ability to communicate with one another through our thoughts. We developed the ability to love so that we were at one with everyone. There was no fear within our civilization, but we were not able to exist on the planet Earth.
Where'd they go, to Venus?
The planet Earth, as you know it, has gone through many evolutions. I was on Earth for many lifetimes, but not always in a physical body as you now have a physical body. The Earth has gone through 4 evolutions. And it will go through 3 more evolutions.
I knew it was going to equal to 7. I had a feeling that it was going to equal to 7. Now, you want to hear something trippy about what she just said? What Miran is saying, if you guys have been following this channel long enough, what Miran is saying right now, I highly doubt that she read Manly P. Hall's books, What the Ancient Wisdom Expects from Its Disciples, and The Occult Anatomy of Man. But what she's saying right here about the 7 evolutions of men, the 7 stages of our evolution in consciousness, and how she's explaining the Lemurians is exactly how Manly P. Hall explained them. What are the chances of that? This is from the 70s. Unless this girl read this book and then is acting like she knows something, which I just don't think that's happening. There's a coincidence here. There's something to that, I think. Did Edgar Casey talk about Lemuria? I think he did.
The evolutions that we have gone through.
I can describe those to you. I would like to check on Leanna first. She is disoriented. I think she is in need of returning. Yes, I would like to talk with you some more on this.
Yeah, because the last time we checked in on her, she was lost in some color spaces or something, right?
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Debrief.
Robert Monroe's so funny. He thinks he's like in the military. Okay, we just talked to this lady from Lemuria, that channeling through this girl. Her name's Miran. Let's debrief.
Fine.
Status report.
Just talk to me. How you doing? You just tell me your reactions and your impressions now, all right?
Okay. So, at first, I didn't really think there would be any contact. Just sort of felt, I didn't feel like I was making any contact. So, the light with the vortex was very attractive. And I see that that's also a pattern that may be as much a pattern as the colors. And then when I was saying the name over and over, I just became aware of a feeling that I was separating from my body. And yet when he said, I heard him say good evening, and it was like very clear, and it was like me as much as it was him, and yet I wasn't there.
So that was a dude.
And then I went into kind of like the cocoon that I'd experienced once before. And was quietly there, sort of listening and not listening to what he was saying. But when he started talking about the child, I started crying.
Yes.
And I was wanting to have him go away. And yet I didn't seem to be able to succeed in that, which was probably what it was as it was supposed to be. So I just laid back in the cocoon and just laid there. And then I started whirling. It was like the cocoon turned into a big vortex.
I see. Great.
And I felt like I was getting sick to my stomach.
All right, so this one's pretty believable. I mean, if this girl's acting, it's pretty good. I mean, you got the voice change, you got the stuff that she's saying about Lemuria that Manly P. Hall said in his books, the emotional reactions to the things that's being channeled. I get a pretty good solid vibe from this one that something metaphysical's going on here. It's pretty trippy. Of course, we got to do the radio station thing. Now that the radio station is back, we have to get to licensing for the music paid for here. So we're going to pay the bills real quick. And then we'll finish up the night with Miran from the Monroe Institute. Stay with us. chicken wing. Tired.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Have you ever wondered, what do the stars say for me? Or, will the next month or the next year be more favorable? How about, are our two signs compatible? Each month, at the new moon, you can ask these questions live with me, your astrologer psychic, Mary DeCina, along with host of Lighting the Void, Joe Root. Join us at the new moon for Cosmic Conditions. We look forward to working with your energy.
Every new moon at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fringe FM.
The truth is out there, and so are we. KTLK, Digital Broadcasting, The Fringe FM.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh,
Whoa.
but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Do you want to know the truth? Are UFOs real? Are aliens visiting Earth? Are governments around the world hiding the biggest secret in history? We're UFO Seekers, official partner of The Fringe FM, and we're on a hunt for the truth. Join us as we investigate locations like Area 51 by subscribing on YouTube at youtube.com/UFO Seekers.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
guys got your drinks. Hope you went to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. I hope you're not going to sleep. I hope you're not in hypnagogia as we speak, trying to fall asleep while you're listening to Miran be enchanted and channeled through at the Monroe Institute. Look, I'm not trying to make things... I actually enjoy this. I'm not trying to make things creepy on purpose or, entertain you or anything like that. I'm just really curious about this. Look, this is what we know. I don't know this girl's name. I think it's Delina, or I don't know the girl's name because I can barely hear what she's saying sometimes. Then she starts talking in her own voice. She's an emotional girl, a sensitive girl, you can tell. Very proficient at getting to focus 12, according to Robert Monroe. And then this entity named Miran comes in, and you can actually hear a voice change. And now we understand, we know that entity is a masculine entity, right? And she begins talking about this story that happened to the child. Somebody did some harm to somebody, and I'm guessing that this is her past life connections or something like that she's channeling. Very, very weird, very creepy. But now we're into the debrief of this, and I will drop the link actually to this audio in the scrolling chat here too, just in case you guys want to go back and listen to it later while you're trying to fall asleep.
And that was when I felt able to come back.
So she's explaining what happened while she was under.
And I did. And I was totally disoriented at first when the light came on. I don't know, I didn't really have any spatial relationship to the room.
I see.
And that's about it.
This last debriefing phase should begin to give you a better idea of SHE's normal personality, although she was still in a deeply relaxed state. The ripping noise at the end came as she removed the bands holding electrodes to her head and hands. It is interesting to note the concern Miran has for the well-being of our explorer. This gradually gave us a greater sense of confidence, to say the least. It was a learning experience for all of us. To illustrate, here are portions of the following session.
Particularly in the palms of my hands.
What's in the palm of
I feel like I'm suspended. I feel like a balloon is just being blown up and up and up.
What's wrong with her voice? Is she so? I think is she so relaxed that her voice is slipping too? Because she's like, I feel like a balloon that's blown up and up. She must be like really, really relaxed. Because sometimes when she talks and says words, I don't know what she's saying.
And there's a very pretty purple space above me. Oh, it's very dark. I'm just floating.
Just floating.
The light in front of me that keeps expanding. I'm going to go towards that. Here. Like I'm dividing. Yes. I feel like I've just eaten a cold thing of ice cream.
What the fuck?
I can perceive a pulsing, like the colors. But I can't visualize the colors.
It sounds just like an acid trip, by the way. It all looks like it tastes.
Good afternoon. We have much to talk about.
Oh, the voice is back. Did you hear the voice change? There it is. Hold on.
Good afternoon. We have much to talk about.
It's definitely more masculine, right? What's up, Emily? Emily just came out of an Inception type dream.
I have been watching.
Wow.
And I feel that there needs to be some definition.
You think?
Of where I come from. Liana is unsure. I have told you earlier that I come from level 46. And that in the physical world there are 21 levels.
Okay.
You have the plants in the first 7 levels. 7 is the number of the universe. And you have the animals in the next 7 levels. And you, as you are incarnated now, are operating in the next 7 levels. After you leave normal consciousness, you can penetrate into other levels.
So we got to wait till we die?
For me to speak, I have to bring Liana into the next level. and I have to cross into that level also. But I can feel that it is a strain for her body. I bring her only good. And in the level that I am operating on, I am working with ways to heal. Not only in the first 21 levels, but in the levels in which others are in beyond your physical consciousness. I said to you earlier that there were 7 evolutions the earth would go through. Do you remember that?
Yes.
The earth is now in its 4th evolution.
I swear on everything, Manly P. Hall said the same thing. He said we were on the 4th.
And I know that Liana
stage.
has been wondering where I come from. I spring from the light that was there at the beginning of consciousness. It is hard to find words. But I guide through the evolution that your world is in now. Because it is in the 4th evolution, I work through and with the Christ Spirit. He is the master of the 4th evolution. When the world enters the 5th evolution, there will be newer and greater teachings, but not until then. It is beginning now. It is an evolution in which all beings will begin to radiate light. Light that they can perceive, and light that can be perceived in the cosmos. The signs are a restructuring of life as you know it on the earth. Man will begin to study himself. He will begin to recognize his potential within himself. Up until now, man has been concerned with development outside himself. But that will change. There will be a greater awareness, not just of individuals, but of groups. And these groups will initiate changes. You are part of that group. You are bringing expanded awareness
I think it gets quiet here for a long time.
I need to come down.
Debrief. Debrief. How do you feel?
Tired. Old, but all right. Okay. Can I take this head thing off first?
Sure, go ahead.
Monroe's got her plugged up to all
No,
kinds of
it's all right.
stuff.
I don't need the light. There were points. When the contact first started, I really wasn't sure what was happening. And then I really felt the contact. I just went off. I didn't know exactly what was happening at all. But then, the last part of it, wherever I was, I started feeling really uncomfortable, and I wanted to come back, and I couldn't seem, it was like I couldn't get anybody to pay attention to me. Yeah, I wasn't comfortable any longer, and I didn't have any sense that, before I've always sensed that he was very aware of where I was or whatever. But this time I didn't at all. So it was kind of nice to know that I could impinge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Now, I sort of heard the last sentence of what he was going to say or something. It had something to do with energy and reaching for level 46. I don't know what you'd ask him. But that was whatever he was going to say when I just interrupted and cut in.
They talk about these levels as if they're like video game levels on Zelda or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really felt that pulsing, and then suddenly the colors were there, and I went out somewhere. I didn't have any perception of the space at all, and I was very comfortable there until I was ready to. Yeah, and then I was ready. Anything unusual in the gauges?
I'll tell you about
it. All you can do is hear Monroe he's just in the background. It's like, yeah.
A very important detail took place here, which raised greatly the confidence factor for both our explorer and us. She discovered that she could return whenever she so desired. No total takeover, no dominance was involved. So here, then, is the next session, which is basically a continuation.
I feel closer to being able to experience a gradual separation. And then I was trying to be aware of pulling all of my energy from my feet up to my head and out the top of my head. But I didn't have any perceptions at all.
Time lapse, 3 minutes. 3 minutes time lapse.
It was very hard.
You guys hear, like, that's a real voice change. I know it sounds close to her voice, but that would almost be like me talking, and all of a sudden I just start talking like a girl. That you heard the voice change right then, right? Right there.
Right now, her physical body is not in very good health. I hesitated to come, and I was not aware the last time of her needs to be back.
Emily, you can't just say that stuff in the chat. You got to call in and tell me.
It would be interesting for you to.
You got to call in and tell me what's going on. Like if you're having false awakenings or inception type dreams, or you're seeing stuff just like this you got to call in, man. Tell us what's going on.
To measure her change in heartbeat and in breathing. When I am here, it does change. You have a very good device for measuring heartbeat. I am not sure on measuring breathing what you have.
We have strain gauges. Strain gauges.
Liana has little knowledge for me to communicate with. There is
Hold on just a second here.
There is change in her body temperature. Does your instrument measure that?
We do have one that can do that, yes.
When I was with you last week, you asked if I could speak through other people. I can do this. You are very wise to have Liana only think on the colors. They must pulsate. It's not always easy to enter and speak. I may speak in other ways.
Emily, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on?
Let's see if I can try to explain this well, because it just happened. I also have to be kind of quiet because I'm in a hotel room with my husband and my daughter, and they're sleeping. But I was sleeping, and I thought I was dreaming, and I started hearing loud noises in the hallway of the hotel room I'm in. And it sounded like there were people out there, and I was a little weirded out, and I kind of just ignored it because obviously it doesn't really feel safe to come out in the hallway in the middle of the night with my family in here. And they kept persisting, and I heard more people come out, and I heard people starting to get mad at whatever noise it was. So I went to walk towards the door to look through the people, and I heard my husband say, "No, don't do that. You don't go over there. It doesn't seem safe." And then the door didn't look quite like how it actually looks in this plane. And when I went out, I realized I had my dog. I don't actually have my dog, but I had my dog. And he started peeing on the floor, and I was like, "Oh crap, I forgot to take him out. He's been in this room all day." And then after all that, I walked back in, go to lay down, and then I wake up what I think is real life and realize that the noise I thought I was hearing was actually the AC, like the droning of the AC in the room.
Yeah.
And at this point, I thought I was awake, And so I had my head laid down, and I heard the same noise I was hearing in the previous dream in the droning, but when I lifted my head up, I didn't really hear it. And I kept doing that to kind of test to see what the sound was. And I just kind of chalked it up as, I guess I'm just hearing something in that frequency of the droning of the AC unit. And then as I started trying to fall back asleep or so, I thought I started feeling I kind of started feeling that sensation that you've talked about before about peeling out of your body. And this time, I wasn't trying to do this, but this time it was a little bit different because I wasn't afraid. Nothing was making me afraid. I was actually kind of curious, and I was thinking, maybe I can, I don't know, maybe I can try this. And I felt like I got like halfway out, like from my head to my torso. And then I started, my daughter was like partially with me, if that makes any sense. And like it was like I had this voice narrating to me all this like knowledge and wisdom about what I was experiencing. I can't really recite it now because I don't really remember it.
So were you listening to the show while this was happening?
No, I was not listening to the show at all. I was just sleeping. And the reason I called it, the reason I even started listening was I woke up and then I decided to look at my phone. And then I got a notification of the show on YouTube. And I realized it's close to midnight. So I figured it's almost over, but I just clicked on to listen. And then when I heard what was on, I was like, what the hell is this? This is so eerie that I just experienced this and I'm hearing this person's voice. I didn't know what was happening at first. I have no idea what was going on in the show. I actually thought you were like guiding somebody or something when I first heard that woman's voice. So I had no idea what was going on.
I might do that live on the air one of these days. Well, here's the thing. Like, if you're coming out of body, you're coming out of body. But sometimes you can dream about coming out of body. Okay? And it's not really the same. It's not the same thing. However, you would know. Like, if you're sure that you were peeling out and you were awake, that's one thing. But if you're asleep and you were feeling it, you're either dreaming about coming out of body. There's three things that could be happening. You're either dreaming about coming out of body, or your etheric double is moving in the dream, or you're actually coming out of body and you're feeling
Well, I think, because this isn't, the out of body thing is the first time I've experienced it like this, but the inception type dreams, like where I'm having false awakenings, has been reoccurring lately in the past few weeks. And like, I'm not intentionally trying to do any of this stuff. I'm just going to sleep and this keeps happening to me.
When you say inceptions, do you mean dreams within a dream?
I'm not trying to obtain out of body experiences. I'm not going to bed with the intention of trying to get out of body. I'm just going to sleep. And it keeps happening. And this was the first time within those dreams that I felt that. But I think you're right. I think it's partially a dream. But at the same time, all these experiences that I've been having where they're false awakenings feel very real. They don't feel like dreams.
False awakenings do feel super real. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. So oddly enough, this is how it okay, it was maybe a little TMI on how it ended. But when I actually was out of my body, and I looked over at my husband and my daughter, and they're sleeping. And then I thought, oh, maybe I could wake my husband up and we can be together. And then I tried to wake him up.
Have a midnight shindig. Yeah. Kids are sleeping.
So I tried to wake him up.
In the dream?
I tried to wake him up. In the dream, I guess so. And then my daughter, like, when I tried to wake my husband up, my daughter started, like, kicking her leg violently. And he looked at me, he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I don't know. I'm sorry. I was trying to just wake you up. And then I realized, like, if whatever that happened, like, it like sucked me back into my body, and then I woke up in real life, and I woke up as if like I had been sleeping for 1,000 years, and I had only fallen asleep maybe like an hour and a half ago.
What? Okay, so here's the big question: what did you eat before you went to sleep?
We just actually went to a Turkish restaurant, and I
knew
had
it was foreign.
a kebab.
Some kind of foreign
Really?
thing.
Wow.
Anytime I eat foreign food, I have crazy dreams. I'm not talking about like Spanish food. No. I'm talking about like if I eat Indian food or, yeah, a lot of times it's either Indian food. Sometimes like I actually ate here in Little Rock. We have like a South African restaurant or something. So I tried something from that. A weird dream. The false awakening I had when I kept waking up and touching my phone, and it does feel real. Like it's like super real. The false awakening things, same thing. You know, I ate like Chinese food before then, so I don't know. I'm not saying that's what caused it, but you know.
Yeah, but that could be part of it too. That's interesting. I'm trying to remember what I was eating before when I had my last. Like, I just had a dream like this. On not the same exact thing, but like thought something happened, and then I went to go do something else, and then I woke up, and then it woke up again, like as if I kept thinking I was waking up, but I actually wasn't. But it happened like less than a week ago.
So you need to ask your husband if, for an experiment, do you remember me trying to wake you up? More than likely, he's going to say no. Right.
Well, just now, I think he heard the tail end of what I said, and he goes, "You did wake me up, but I'm not happy about it."
Oh, well, then I don't know what happened. What you just went through is a fog of confusion, right? So
I don't think I woke him up the first time. I think I woke him up because I'm on the phone.
because even if like your etheric double like woke him up, you probably just woke his etheric double up or something. And if he's asleep, this is I'm going to complicate the hell out of all this. But if he's asleep, he's unconscious. So that part of him can wake up and talk to you and then go back to sleep, and he'll never remember it. He'll never know it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think it does, even though it doesn't.
Yeah. So what we're trying to get to, though, is the conscious OBE, the peeling out of, but you can't help it when you dream. Sometimes it just happens. Right. So interesting. So you woke up to all that and then started listening to this?
Yeah.
You must be like really tripping out.
Yeah, but the difference is normally I would be really afraid. I'm not very afraid, which is a nice feeling.
Well, that's good. Yeah, you don't need to be afraid. Well, all right. Follow that line and let us know what happens, Maybe you'll get out of body again or something.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to me.
Sure. Thanks, Emily.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
You too. Trippy. All right, let's finish this up. Let's see what Miran has to say.
With Liana, sometimes I speak through pictures or through communication that she hears, but she is not as receptive to that. Perhaps one of your other people would be. It is difficult to communicate when the words are not there. I am only energy. I can only bring you what is there.
I understand. That's very understandable.
I can flash the colors to you. For you to perceive them.
I'm sorry, man. Listening to Robert Monroe, you could just barely hear him in the background. And he's just like, it sounds like he's I don't know, football fields away. Yeah, that would be fine. Sure. That's lovely. Right? And it's just trippy.
It is probably good if she comes back. Thank you. Goodbye.
You know, can you imagine like going to the Monroe Institute and then he plugs all that stuff up to your head, all those little things, all the monitors, sticking them to your head and your body. And then he counts you down to like focus 10, focus 12, and then he probably stands behind a wall and he's like, "You're going to be fine. Don't worry." There might be entities that talk to you, but everything's going to be okay. Anyways, we might actually, that was a pretty interesting, that's the first time I've heard Miran on it. Some of you guys have heard Miran on before, I guess. So I haven't, but I'm convinced that that was something. That was definitely some type of channeling for sure. There's another one that I want to do. There's a few more that I want to do with Miran on, actually. And I didn't get to do a show Wednesday night, so I might do a makeup broadcast tomorrow night, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. But you can listen live to the show every night here on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on YouTube, Fringe FM. The Fringe FM is also on TalkStream Live, TuneIn, Live 365, Stream, all of the streaming websites. You can listen there too. And here, let me drop the link to this audio one more time. So if you guys want to listen to the whole thing again, you can while you sleep so you can have weird dreams. Listen to the girl's voice change. All that kind of stuff. There it goes. And yeah, we're gonna roll out of here. I'm ready to lay down right now and get out of body. I'm gonna listen to something. I'm probably gonna listen to this whole thing again and lay down and then try to get out of body. Why not? Doesn't matter. I love you guys. Please support the show if you can. The links are down below if you want to support, if you want to join the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can. If you want to join the Patreon, there's an extra podcast that I do there. There's also, but I'm going to be doing that on all. It doesn't matter where you join. If it's the Patreon, the website, or the YouTube, whichever is the easiest for you. I'm going to put all the same content on all of them. And then you can just pick whichever one's easier for you. You can support the show that way. You can also donate through the links. We love you. Night night, sweet dreams. And if it gets too weird, call in and tell us about it. 501-777-5631. If I don't answer, leave a voicemail too. Good night, y'all.